Good morning, Miss Mosier. I'm going to change your name on the screen just so I know who you are. So give me just a moment.
Okay.
Okay. So Miss Mosier, I'm going to put you in the waiting room and it'll just be a few minutes, okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, if somebody I've just let into the Zoom room, they have a device called with the name of Reliance Communications. Can I have your name, please?
Blake Reinke.
Say it again.
Blake Reinke.
All right, Mr. Reinke, thank you. I am going to change your screen name, and then I'm going to pop you in the waiting room, and I'll be with you in a minute, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. All right, I have somebody on a device that says Hope House. Can I have your real name, please?
Troy Johnson.
All right, I gotcha. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. So I'm going to change the screen name on my end just so I know who you are, and then I will put you back in the waiting room, and I'll be with you in just a minute, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, so Mr. Southwell, you want to come on up? This is in the matter, and I don't have Whitney Wyrick here, so I don't see her in the waiting room. So, all right, this is in the matter of Whitney Wyrick versus Kevin Donald Southwell, file number 2010-35643 DP. This is a date and time set for a show cause. Let's see, Mr. Southwell's ordered to pay $200 a month in child support. As of today's date, you have a rearage of $22,685.32. I have a payment amount of $300 that was paid on June 6th, and we don't have an income withholding. Let's see, on July 29th, we were here and I ordered you to pay $200 a month until arrears are paid off. Let's see. All right, so you did come in and you updated your employer information. Are you still working there?
Yes, ma'am.
Are they taking it out of your check?
Yes, they are.
How much are they taking out a week?
85 and some change a week.
$85 and some change
Yes,
a week.
I don't have the exact number, but yeah.
All right, is that on your phone? Do you have a paycheck or anything on your phone?
I don't have it on my phone right now. I don't have any data on my phone.
Okay, all right.
Yes, actually, the last time we were here, it was because I wasn't working, but that day they actually called me
Okay,
back.
so let me ask you this. Can you get a copy of your paycheck?
I probably could. I could have it probably tomorrow. I can't get it today.
All right, could you bring that up here? Does anybody have any updated information? I know this is a Miss Cam file.
Your Honor, we've been playing phone tag, apparently, according to Ms. Cam's notes with Quality Cleaning. It is our understanding that there are several addresses for this company and no one can let us know if they have an income withholding in place or not.
Okay, so Mr. Southwell, would it be possible, like tomorrow, to have somebody bring a copy of your paycheck up here and drop it off?
Yeah, I mean, I may be able to get her to email it to me.
That's fine.
Up here or
Yeah, and then if you get an email to you, before you leave, stop down at front of the court and get the email address for your caseworker, Kelly Cam.
Okay.
And then if you get an email to you, email it to her.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Okay, because as long as the money's coming out, we're good.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so I'm gonna set this out to January 13th, just to make sure.
Okay.
And that'll be at 8 AM. If they're coming out, I would just ask that the caseworker dismiss then, just so he doesn't have to keep coming in and missing work. All right, so we'll see you back on January 13th at 8 o'clock, and either stop and get the email address from Miss Cam and then email her a copy of your paycheck.
Yes,
all right?
all right.
All right, thank you.
Have a good night.
You too. All right, and I think you said you were, what's your name? Holiday?
Yes.
All right, let's see. All right, in the matter of Christiana Borst versus Christopher Holiday, file number 2007-31853 DP. Mr. Holiday, that's been adjourned to January 13th, so you must be making payments. So, all right, thank you. Keep up the good work and eventually they'll just dismiss it, all right? And you can call your caseworker or call my office the Friday before in the afternoon, and we can probably tell you if it's been adjourned, so you don't have to make the trip.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, are you here for front of the court or no?
Here for Nathan Stoddard.
What's the last name?
Stoddard. Yeah, at 8 o'clock in courtroom 2.
Spell the last name.
Stoddard, Stoddard.
Did he get arrested over the weekend?
Oh, my daughter wanted me to come in and see what's going on.
Your Honor, that's in Judge Olsap's courtroom.
Next door.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Are you here for front of the court?
Yes, but not till 8:30.
Okay. All right. Let's see. And go to Troy Johnson. All right, Mr. Johnson, thank you. All right, this is in the matter of Tanya Epps versus Troy Johnson Senior, file number 2008-32407 UN. This is a date and time set for an adjourned show cause. Let's see. Okay, so Mr. Johnson, can you start your camera, please?
Yes, ma'am. You see
Okay,
me?
I can see you. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So this is a rearages only file from Ohio. We ordered you to pay $166.70 a month towards your arrears. You did make consistent payments and then they stopped in April of 24. So I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson.
Yes, ma'am. I know I was working, but I'm in here, so got locked up.
I know, I
so.
see you're in the Hope House. Are you there as part of a sentencing or on your own initiative?
I'm a sentencing because I'm in drug court.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you are. Okay. All right. So, Ms. Sienkiewicz, this is your file. Mr. Johnson is in the recovery court program. And
Yes,
he's been, part of his sentence is he has to enter and complete Hope House.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm gonna set this out to January 13th, no, January 27th,
Yes, ma'am.
just to monitor him, okay, Ms. Sienkiewicz?
Absolutely. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Johnson, good job, stay with it, don't leave.
I ain't going
And
anywhere.
you better not be going anywhere, so I
Hey,
will see
you
you
gave me a
back.
break.
All right, good job, so good luck, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and
Thank you.
yep, and your next date will be January 27th at 8 a.m., all right?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye. All right, in the matter of, I'm gonna help you on your way, Mr. Johnson. All right, in the matter of Raquel Tyndall versus Isaiah Coopshaw, file number 2007-32109 DP, that matter has been adjourned to January 13. In the matter of Catherine Reinke versus Michael Lewis, file number 2009-34541 DP, that matter has been adjourned to January 27th. All right, let's get Mr. Reinke in here. Everybody's probably hustling. It's a foggy day in Michigan, so I'm surprised people are all here on time. All right, Mr. Reinke, good morning. And let me see if I have Kayla. I do not. So this is in the matter of Kayla Forrest versus Blake Reinke. file number 2010-35508 DP. You find your paperwork. There you are. So Mr. Reinke, we've kept this going since July of 24. We haven't received a payment since September. So Mr. Reinke, you're ordered to pay $242 a month. You got an arrearage of $4,776.91. You had a job at Glove Enterprises, but we were notified that you were terminated on December 11th and hadn't worked enough hours for them to send anything in. So Mr. Reinke, tell me you have another job.
I have 2 job interviews today. I was gonna make a payment tomorrow. I don't have a vehicle right now. It's in the shop, but I should be getting it back later today. So I was gonna make a pay. I just got a paycheck from them, so I was gonna pay $200 tomorrow.
All right, well, Mr. Reinke, whether you have a vehicle or not is irrelevant because you can walk here. So, all right, how much are you making a payment tomorrow?
Plan on doing 200.
Okay, so, all right, and then you need to pay another $50 by the end of the month to make your monthly amount. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to adjourn this to January 13, make that payment plus the additional 42 by the end of the month. And then we'll see you back on January 13 at 8:30, okay? Or 8 a.m., I'm sorry.
8
All
a.m.
right, thank you. 8
Yep.
a.m., yep,
Okay. All right. Bye.
thank you. All right, in the matter of Jeffrey Readers versus Alicia Roy, I got her. All right, I'm gonna help you on your way out, Mr. Reinke.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's gone, sorry. All right, Alicia Roy, can you start your video and audio, please?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to do that.
Thank you. So this is in the matter of Jeffrey Readers or Writers versus Alicia Roy, file number 2011-37341. Okay, 2011-37341 UN. So, Ms. Roy, we are here on a case that is arrearages only. You have an arrearage of $14,346. The last payment we got was $50 in November of 2020. Payments were supposed to start in November of 24 in the amount of $50, and we have not received it. So, Ms. Roy, I need you to pay for November and
I did pay that in November and December. Matter of fact, I checked the account yesterday and it showed that the payment went through November 2nd and then
Ms.
December
Senkowitz,
2nd.
could we verify that, please?
And the
Hold on,
case
just
that I was
wait a minute,
only
Miss Roy.
7,000
Miss Roy, hold on.
behind.
Miss Roy, hold on. Let
Okay.
Miss Senkowitz check. You're muted. Oh, to Miss Senkowitz, I'm sorry.
My Mises kicked me out. Give me 1 second to log back in, Your Honor.
Okay. In the matter of Sarah Davis versus Paul Davis, file number 2014-40773 DM, that matter has been adjourned to January 6th. In the matter of Sarah Cundiff versus Simon Cundiff, file number 2016-43448 DM, that matter has been adjourned to February 24th. In the matter of April Martin versus Jonathan Emmett, file number 2018-45884 DP, that matter has been dismissed. You got it, Ms. Sinkwitz?
I do, Your Honor. I'm not showing any payments on this case. Does she possibly have another case that's open and that could be where her payments are going and not to this case since this is an arrears only?
Ms. Roy, do you have another child support case?
No, I don't, but I am currently looking at the expert pay payment and I have the transaction numbers, the date submitted, everything right here on my other phone. I paid $25 on December 1st, effective date December 2nd, and I paid $50 on November 4th, effective date November 4th. I don't know if this is like, because this is a Missouri case, if
You're
there's a
paying
glitch.
through Missouri or through Michigan?
Well, when I go through Michigan and then it sends me to the Missouri case.
Ms. Sinkwitz?
Your Honor, all of her previous payments have come through us and then were sent to Missouri from Miss Do. So I will
I'm
reach out to
paying the
Missouri.
exact
Hold on,
same way.
everybody. I'm okay. So Ms. Roy and Ms. Sinkwitz, I'm gonna put you guys in a breakout room.
Okay,
And then, Ms. Roy, you're gonna screenshot or something and send that to Ms. Sinkwitz.
Okay,
But she'll give you instructions. I'm gonna set this out to January 27, just to see if we can figure it out. If we figure it out, then Ms. Sinkowitz will dismiss it. But, so here you go. And it's nobody's fault. It just, the system, especially with, okay. So go ahead and join that breakout room and you're all set, Ms. Roy. January 27th at 8 AM will be our next date. Thank you. In the matter of, let's see. In the matter of Lauren Phillips versus Robert Phillips, file number 20-47595 DM, that matter is adjourned to January 27th. In the matter of Rebecca Wanasik versus Jeffrey Dwyer, file number 24-51369 UN, that matter has been dismissed. Let me bring in Ms. Mosier. Ms. Mosier, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, this is in the matter of Sharon Mosier versus Jody Buer, file number 12-37532 UN. Ms. Sinkowitz did inform me that Ms. Buer reached out to her this morning. And said she wasn't going to be able to make it today. So I'm going to issue a bench warrant for her arrest. And I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,200.
$1,200. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Ms. Sinkowitz, on that one. All right. Thank you, Ms. Mosier. Have a good holiday. Thank you.
Is okay, when is the next court date? You don't know?
There won't be one because there's a bench warrant.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to check to make sure. So, okay.
Yeah, but they'll mail a
so
notice.
much.
Yep, and they'll mail a notice to you, or at
Okay.
least call you and notify you. All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So, let's see. right, Mr. Mason, are you Brian Mason?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can, thank you. So in the matter of Diane Hubbard versus Brian Mason, file number 14-41008 UN. So Mr. Mason, we are here today on a friend of the court show cause. Let me find you. There you are. Mr. Mason, you ordered to pay $260 a month in child support. As of today's date, you have an arrearage in the amount of $27,422.40. The last payment we received was in September of 2021 in the amount of $346.44. We were last here and I ordered you to pay $200 a month on your arrearages with the payments to start in November. We have not received any payments. They are also asking for contempt of court for failure to abide with the last order of making the payments. So, Mr. Mason, you did not make the $200 November and December payment, correct?
Correct. I just set that up this morning
You set what up this morning?
for the expert pay, whatever it's called, to have it taken out of my bank account.
Okay, can you come make a payment today?
Yes. My
How
daughter's
much can you
class
pay
is
today?
my daughter's class is over at 9:30 and I'll make a $200 payment at the courthouse, and then once the period of whatever it takes to process my new account with expert pay, that'll start coming out of there as well.
Are you currently employed?
I work for myself. I live in Kentucky. I don't even live here in Michigan. I
That's
can't afford a
irrelevant.
warrant here either because my children live here. So
Well, if you make your payments, there's no warrant. That's how
I
that
know
kind of
that.
works. So
Yeah.
I want you to, okay, so you're gonna make an online payment today of $200, right?
Right.
And then
As
you gotta make
well
another
as
$60
online.
payment by the end of the month.
Yes.
Okay, all right, so it takes us a couple days to cycle that to be able to see it, but I better see a payment was made today online. And then I will set this out to January 13th at 8 AM and make this payment, and then at least half of the January payment or all of the, actually, I'll set it out to January 27 at 8 AM.
So
And
that's two
then
payments.
that gives you time to make the December payment and the January one to show that you're gonna do it, all right?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, all right, thank you, Mr. Mason.
Have a good one.
You too. Mr. Pelum, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is in the matter of Selena Keller versus Dino Pelum, file number 2015-41502DS. So Mr. Pelum, you are ordered to pay $251 a month in child support. You have an arrearage of $2,751.69. We have not received a payment since October 22nd of 2024. You entered a plea of not guilty.
I
back
made
in
a payment this
September.
weekend, man.
Okay, how much did you pay this weekend?
I think it was like 400 or 500. I can't really remember.
All right, did you make it online?
Yes.
Okay, all right, Mr. Pelham, I just need the $251 a month. If you make it every month, we'll leave you alone. So I'm gonna adjourn this out to January 27 and at 8 AM. And then I just need you to make the January payment of $251, all right?
Okay, thank you.
All right, have a good holiday, thank you.
You said the 27th, ma'am?
Yes, sir,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Yep.
I'm almost done, Mr. Rains and Mr. Finley, so. Dan Wilson. I don't have paperwork on courts, but I have them on my docket. Was that adjourned?
It was, Your Honor, until January 13th.
Right, in the matter of Christopher Courts versus Dana Courts, file number 20-47415 DM. That matter has been adjourned to January 13th at 8 a.m. So I have Dan Wilson. All right, Mr. Wilson, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, this is in the matter of Iona Folk versus Dan Wilson, file number 20-47450 DP. This is the date and time set for show cause in this matter. Mr. Wilson, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, there you are. All right, Mr. Wilson, you are ordered to pay $376 a month in child support. You have an arrearage of $7,860.85. I show that we haven't received a payment since August 25 of 2021, and that was in the amount of $251.26. Let's see. She filed for a support review. It was scheduled in October. We issued a bench warrant for you back in September. You did appear in front of Judge Olsaver. It was adjourned to November 18th. You gave your current address, which is the address of the custodial parent. So are you still living with Miss Folk?
No.
Okay. Are you able, it looks like you've been trying to stay in contact. All right. 25.
I can't see. Who am I speaking with?
Well, if you look at me, you'll see me. I'm the judge.
I can't see you at all.
I can't hear you.
Oh, you know what?
Can't hear you.
I can't.
Still can't hear you. No, you're just too far from the microphone.
Well, I gotta hold it up to my. I saw the. Anyway, I see you now.
Okay.
Last time we was here, you told me to pay $35 a month because I'm on Social Security. I made the payment last week online, and I guess that's why we came back.
So, okay, so here's the problem. You gave us your address, which is the address we used, and then you were supposed to go to that front of the court hearing and prove your Social Security payments, and you didn't show up.
I showed them my Social Security papers years ago. They have copies of that from years ago.
Okay.
But last time I was in court, you said, I told y'all Social Security, you said, and somebody said something about he needs to pay the medical and $35 a month. And you said, well, you should be able to afford that, make a payment, and then you're going to reschedule for today.
So hold on. Originally, you were supposed to pay a total of $35 a month. Yes. But then there was a support review and you didn't show up for that hearing, and now there's a child support order. When did that order get entered? Let's see, November 15. And when did the order for child support get entered? Anybody know?
That was in, yes, order November 18th of 24.
Okay, so what happened, Mr. Wilson, is we mailed a notice of hearing to the address you had on record. Okay. And then you obviously didn't get it. And then Ms. Folk petitioned for a friend of the court child support review, and you didn't show up. And then a child support order got entered.
Okay, how can a child support get entered against a person on Social Security, ma'am? Like I said,
because you didn't show up to, because you didn't show up to, hey, you didn't show up to prove it. So what I can do is get your valid address, and then I can send it down to friend of the court for another support review, but you got to show up. And if you don't show up and it gets entered, you know, it's going to be what it is. So what I'll do is I'll do an order referring this back down to a support review. But then you gotta show up or mail your information in. And then I'm gonna put you in a breakout room and I want you to give a valid address to whoever I put you in the breakout room with. I'm trying to see who the caseworker is. It's Miss Stevenson. I don't want to put it on the record because we're on YouTube. So I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Miss Stevenson. I'm going to set this out to, let me see. Miss Adams, can I use February 3rd or 10th? Oh, Miss Adams.
I'm sorry, Judge. I was on the phone. I did not hear what.
It's okay. Can I use February 3rd or February 10th for a friend of the court show cause?
February 3rd or 10th?
One of those days, February 3rd or February 10th?
Yes, both days are good.
All right. So, Mr. Wilson, I'm going to set this out to February 10th at 8 a.m. So I know you provide Social Security a couple years ago, but sometimes you got to update it. So February 10th at 8 a.m. And then I'm going to refer this down for an income review and you have to show up for that. All right.
Yep.
Okay. Now I'm going to open up a breakout room and I want you to give Miss Stevenson a valid address so that we know that you will get this notice of hearing. So let me find Miss Stevenson and Mr. Wilson. Go ahead and join that breakout room and then you're all set. Okay, and I have one last, Mr. Sabulski. Okay, Mr. Sabulski, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, this is in the matter of Jacqueline Clegg versus Barry Sabulski, file number 2019-46484DM. Mr. Sabulski, this has been an ongoing show cause since April of 24. You're ordered to pay $775 a month in child support. You have an arrearage of $9,751.55, which is right at felony level. So the Attorney General's office could charge you with a 4-year felony. So we received 2 payments in December, one for 133 and one for 500. So that's great. Your employer's not doing a withholding. Are you a 1099 employee?
I am, but I do have something worked out with them where they are withholding from my check, but they only make the payments once a month.
Okay. All right. So, Ms. Senkowitz, or Ms. Stevenson is on this one. Okay.
That's
All right.
okay.
So I'm trying to
answer.
Oh, I'm just trying to figure out if the extra $50 a month is in the 775 or not.
Let me take a quick peek and I can let you know.
Thank you.
His charging payment is $775, so the extra $50 is not included in that.
So, Mr. Sabulski, all right, so remember you have to pay that extra $50 a month after the $775 for your arrearage. And you know, if you think that child support level is too high, you can always petition for an income review. But are you going to be able to make the balance? I think you owe another 100 and I don't know, $80. Can you pay that by the end of the month?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, that will be paid for sure. The
Okay.
$500 payment I made was an extra one. I had some family help me out just to make sure that everything was kind of covered this month.
Okay. All right. So Mr. Sabulski, we'll set this out to January 27th to make sure you make the rest of this month's payment, and then that'll give you time to make the January payment. All right.
Great. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Sabulski. All right, Mr. Wilson and Miss Stevenson. Miss Stevenson, did you get everything you need from Mr. Wilson?
I did, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Wilson. You have a good holiday.
I got a quick question. What date you said that was that I missed for the hearing?
Hold on. I think I said, let me find you again. Hold on. February 10th at 8 o'clock.
No, that's the next one. I'm talking about the one you said I missed. I missed that they entered a judgment on.
That was a friend of the court review on October 2nd. Well,
Okay.
we have your address now, so you should get the notice, okay?
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Bye. All right, Mr. Rains, and, okay, let me find you. Enders, are you here on Enders then, Mr. Rains and Mr. Finley?
I am, Judge, yes, and Mr. Enders is present with me.
All right. Joe, is your client, are you on this one, Mr. Finley?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, she's here. So I'm gonna have her come on up. I'm sorry.
No
I
worries.
forgot she was here. Yep, you just stand right up that podium. All right, so this is in the matter of Megan Enders. You go by what now?
Walsh, Megan Walsh.
Walsh versus Matthew Richard Enders. I have Daniel Finley, P65454, appearing on behalf of the plaintiff. I have Lowry Rains, P55246, appearing on behalf of the defendant. Defendant is present with Mr. Rains in his office. Mr. Finley is zooming in and Miss Walsh is in person. So we had an order that was submitted under 7-day following a hearing back on November 25. Plaintiff mother objects, as she said, she never got notice of that hearing. So Mr. Finley and Mr. Rains, has there been any discussion between the two of you?
Your Honor, there has. Mr. Finley and I, during the time that you were handling other matters this morning, we've engaged in the chat function through Zoom, and I think we may have an agreement as to how we would proceed. There was the hearing that you had conducted on November 25th in the absence of Ms. Walsh, and Your Honor had simply ordered an audit to be performed on the account and a referral to the friend of the court on the issues that were addressed in the motion that I'd filed on behalf of Mr. Enders. Mr. Finley has filed a response to that motion, and he has identified a credit that my client appears to have received from his review of the friend of the court records. My client's reviewed that, and he would agree that he has received the credit, which was one part of the motion that he had filed. I believe that Mr. Finley is agreeable to having the matter referred, as Your Honor had simply ordered, to the friend of the court on, I think, the other issues. And so I don't know how that changes things for purposes of today's hearing and the order, but I think my client would acknowledge on the record that he has received a credit. That was part of the motion that he filed. And we would like to be able to proceed to the front of the court for a referee hearing to address his other issues regarding support. Mr. Finley and I have agreed that we will attempt to run the guidelines privately and see if there can be a resolution that would obviate the need for further litigation. But in the event that can't happen, we would like to have, I think, a front of the court referee hearing.
Mr. Finley?
Your Honor, I concur. I would just say this. Here are my two concerns. We definitely agree that support needs to be recalculated based on the current incomes. We have two minors. The current order should indicate that both of those minors are entitled to post-majority support. I apologize, Your Honor, I'm not as familiar as Mr. Rains is with your friend of the court. I'd like to avoid a referee hearing. If there's a way the friend of the court can just run the guidelines, if counsel and I can't agree, that I think that would be a lot easier and cost effective than having a hearing where people have to pay attorneys to show up. And that's my only concern, is if there's a streamlined way to do it. I believe counsel and attorneys should be able to figure out child support without friend of the court, but if we can't, they should be able to run it without a hearing, and that's my only concern.
I'm happy to engage with Mr. Finley, whom I know before from other cases, and provide a completed FOC 39 form. I imagine he would be willing to do the same, and hopefully we can agree upon a a commencement date and agree upon those numbers. But I just, in the event we can't reach an agreement, I would like to avoid one of us having to file a petition and simply have it in our order that we still would have a front of the court referee referral available to us.
Yes, and I'm not as familiar, if whatever the order needs to say, I was just hoping they could just do like a review modification as opposed to a hearing.
Mr. Raines?
Well, I think if council is referring to a front of the court simply an intake hearing, I think we would be agreeable to that. However, I think there is some income that my client might question that whether Ms. Walsh has or not. So that
it sounds like, Mr. Raines is correct. So if there's just an income review, you submit your information, they run the numbers, nobody gets to talk, and so in this case, I think it's reasonable that if the two of you can agree, we're great. And if you can't, then it'll get referred to the front of the court for a referee hearing. That way there can be some testimony. So I have faith that you guys will be able to work this out. So if I can just get an order stating that, the parties will attempt to come to an agreement on those numbers. And if they fail to do so, this matter can be referred to the front of the court for a referee hearing.
What wonderful, Your Honor. Mr. Raines, do you mind preparing that or?
Not a problem, Mr. Finley. I'll prepare that order and submit that to you.
Thank you.
Okay, great.
Thank you for your time, everybody. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everybody.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, bye now.
Bye.